Hello everybody, Sneaky Chiefy here, bringing you, in this case it's a TAW member video, a random match between TAW member Hobotus in gray as the Koreans, and he's up against Mateo in red as the Ethiopians, one of my favorite civs, but Koreans are very, very strong civ. The TAW member Hobotus in this case is practicing for the Super League, which is a tournament that he's in. It's a 1v1 tournament, and the thing with the Super League is that you pick your opponent's civilizations, and Hobotus, when he shared these videos with me, said that he suggested that he was practicing with some civs that he didn't normally play with, in the instance that someone forces to play with him, or forces him to play with them. And Korean's obviously a very strong civ. I think in this case, Hobotus would be very happy, or maybe consider himself lucky to get stuck with the Koreans, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he knows how to play with them. So practicing civs that maybe some might consider bad or weird, that you're not familiar with, practicing them so in the case that he does get stuck with them, he's not left completely unawares on how the best approach would be. Map is Arabia, fairly straightforward map. Looks like a quick pause happened, but looking at it here, there's some sheep still to be found by Hobotus, kind of far afield by both players. In fact, there's some sheep there. Taking a look at the map generation for Hob, he's got some forward stone that's a bit tricky, but his golds are fairly well protected on the left and right. He's got some back stone that he can take as well, and he's got some safe berries as well, as he's looking to wall off the right-hand side first. On Mateo's side, he found some of those forward sheep. He's got some forward berries, a very safe gold, and his stone here might be rangeable from the left side if pressure's put in. This secondary stone and gold is very exposed in the front. But pretty easy to wall here. I think this wood line is helpful for him. He could wall off to here, and then the big wall in the front, and a fairly easy wall there on the right-hand side. Hobotus pushing in some deer here, which I'd love to see. Nice little move there. I gotta learn that whole drop into the town center. Spit out and shoot. Look at me doing it the old-fashioned way. Ethiopians, let's see, probably going archers, let's be honest. They're not a one-trick pony, but certainly can expect a crossbow opening from them. As Hobotus finds his sheep, which he'll be really happy to find those. He still has these two out here, which I believe are his that he hasn't found yet. Koreans, war wagons obviously a very strong option. They also get decent knights. 1717 is the villager count. Neither player going for barracks yet. I noticed that Mateo has not driven in his deer. At least not yet. The second boar coming in now for Hob. I don't think that Hobotus will try any kind of crazy... Oh, very close, watch out. Oh no! Lost the boar to the town center fire. That's why I don't do it, folks. Too much can go wrong. Disaster. I was gonna say, I don't think Hobotus will try any kind of tower rush or anything like that, but forced to drop farms, sending more to berries, clean up these sheep right away. I mean, losing the boar probably won't delay him too much to feudal, but it will make his any kind of crazy fast castle play an issue. We'll just end up translating to more farms than maybe he would have gone for normally, as we see feudal clicked up at 20 pop and clicked up 21 pop for Mateo. Mateo taking some damage on his scout. Hob will probably drive in this last deer now that he's lost that boar as well. but we'll see. Forward barracks for gray. Forward barracks for red, as we see some wacky walls going down. What's this about? Thinking red will probably delete these walls here behind. I don't see a purpose for those if you're going for this very strange configuration of walls. Obviously wants to keep this stone in his possession. Interesting. Mateo is missing his 2 sheep, so both players missing sheep. That combined with the loss of the boar puts Hobotus in kind of a tricky situation here, as he sends 2 to mine gold. And militia coming out, but not coming out for the Ethiopian player. Second lumber camp, and finishing his right-hand wall is Mateo. Mateo will spot this barracks and probably the militia as well. So there goes the element of surprise. They still can be effective in delaying things. Okay, here's militia for red. I must have missed them pop out. So it'll be a drush war as these sheep are finally found. And Mateo will say thank you very much, but Hobotus will claim the first kill of the day with the scout. And we'll see this come in. The scout will make a big difference in this fight. Militia going down for both players. Men-at-arms coming in now, but a bit too late as these are outnumbered. Hobotus will need to micro that scout a bit better. Archery range coming in. Maybe even just for skirmishers, but I don't know. Koreans could go crossbows into war wagons just fine. Archery range coming in for the Ethiopian player as well, who has 12 on wood at the moment, and sending more to gold. That man-at-arms has a hit or 2 left on him, as does the scout cavalry, so if Hobotus plays this right, he could snipe this man-at-arms without issue, but he'll have to be careful. He wants to keep his scout alive, obviously. That intel is very important. But looks like Mateo's not interested in forcing the matter. Vils would be able to fight that off. But interesting to note that those sheep that were Hobes were claimed by Mateo, who is still missing 2 over here as well. So food is in scarce quantity here in the early game for both players. So it will be archers from both players, as you see double archery range production coming in, and a blacksmith. I think, yeah, so Hobe hasn't put his blacksmith down yet. If the Ethiopian player gets a few archers out in the field with fletching, that could be devastating. Ethiopians get faster firing archers, if you didn't know. And it'll be, there's the blacksmith. It's part of the forward walls for the Korean player. Red finishing off his rather weird looking walls. There is a hole here. And this wood line is rather exposed, as is this one, but it is what it is. Gray scouting things out. Military is 5-4 in Mateo's favor, so that'll be... Okay, some skirmishers in the mix. I love that decision from Hobe as he continues to scout the map out, seeing where everything is. Villagers 31-30, so fairly even. Is there a hole in the back too? Look at that. Wow, that's really unfortunate for red. Let's see if Gray can take good advantage of that. Let's see if red sees that even. He should see that. Whether he realizes it or not, he should see it. But wow, that's a big one. This hole, is it plugged? Looks like it might be plugged. But this hole here, wide open. Red choosing to, because he hasn't scouted out this wood line at all, choosing to wall off to the edge of the map instead of to this wood line. And Gray finishing his walls, or working on it anyway. Can't tell if there's a hole through there or not. These slopes make it so tricky. Come up time and time again in these games. Militaries, 11 to 10, mostly ranged units. Archers and skirms for Gray. Straight archers for the Ethiopian player. And 1 scout. And I should say 1 man-at-arms out there somewhere too. There he is. Right in the middle. But it looks like both players are content to boom away to Castle Age, 36 apiece on the villager count. Idle TC time is about a minute for both players. Idle eco is just around 4 or 5 minutes for red and 6 minutes for gray. Nothing too crazy. Gray massing his forces a bit, moving forward, which I like to see because you've made all this army, you might as well use it. And they'll snipe this. And we'll see an archer showdown. So, faster firing, the numbers are about the same, though there's a slight advantage for red. It's 15 to 11. Faster firing archers, but they're up against skirmishers. Yeah. Both players have fletching. Ow. Although padded archer armor for gray already, so that could be the difference. That and the skirmishers. The archers will move right past each other. Gray not going to the back. Red did find that hole, by the way. Sealed it off with a house. So neither player having exposed eco at the moment, as Gray will finish this off. But red will just take out the palisades. And will Gray turn back, or will Gray push forward? I don't know. Market's a great decision to keep red out of eco. Gray looking for some wood choppers to snipe. Looks like he'll find a few. Not quite. Skirmisher defense combined with some market walls and house walls. And red will march back to engage with gray. So red feeling confident. He does have the numbers, but if Hobotus plays this right, he could take this army out just because of the nature of the skirms. Not to mention who's got the better micro and who can get the hill advantage. So it looks like red is going to get the hill advantage in this case. First kills of the game come into play. Gray decides that's just too many archers. He's probably right. Faster firing archers too. That's 20 of them. So more than double the size of the gray army. Though gray is looking to reinforce and also takes the hill, which is good. Interesting fights here. Castle Age clicked by red. He's not paying attention to his army though, and loses quite a few because they're on stand ground. That hurts. There's a lot of skirmishers in there. 7 skirmishers do very well, especially against just plain old archers. And the padded archer armor probably coming into play a little bit there too. Okay, both players have that now. Okay, that came in sometime before the battle. Hobotus clicking up to Castle Age, both at 42 vils. Red just slightly ahead, though Hobotus has more gold. Neither player going to stone yet. Not as important for the Ethiopian player, but if you want to see Korean war wagons, we'll obviously want to see Hobotus go to stone here. Looks like Ethiopian archers will clean this up, despite the fact that there's all the skirms. He's microing rather well. But you want to keep your archers alive so they can get to crossbowmen. They're so much more effective as crossbowmen. And what was 20 is now only 8. I think that's advantage gray at the end of the day. He's halved the archer army before Castle Age even comes in, and he continues to just make skirmishers, so that's saved him gold. He's got more than double the gold. So we'll see when he goes to see more archery ranges coming in, or at least, yeah, so 3 archery ranges for gray. Continues to make archers. Could just be a crossbowman battle of 3 archery ranges with archers for red as well. Could just be a crossbowman battle coming in. We'll see. Gray looking to press the issue. Red running away because he's clicked crossbowman, but it's still 30 seconds out. He's also clicked bodkin arrow. So looking to take advantage of his 30-second lead. But having to run basically because the archer numbers are about the same. Army numbers, I should say. In fact, they're in Gray's favor, 17 to 13. Now they're crossbows, but they still can't quite engage with all those. Gray will run though. I don't know. Good micro too, just splitting, not taking any hits really. Elite skirmisher, crossbow, and bodkin coming in, and thumb ring. So all those resources, extra resources for Gray, being able to spend on upgrades right away. And this will be quite a formidable army, even for the Ethiopian player. He also has leather archer armor. Gray does. 18 crossbows, and looks like 16 combo of elite skirms and crossbows for Gray. Lots of stone miners here, so I'd love to see war wagons. They could just devastate. Ballistics coming in. Now that could be the difference. It is what's missing in Gray's arsenal at the moment. No university yet. So ballistics will make these archers that much more effective. 22 to 19, but the fact that these are elite skirms will keep red at bay, at least for now. Both players dancing. Ballistics are now in. Leather archer armor is also the difference, so red going for ballistics, but he could also afford leather archer armor. I wonder why he hasn't clicked that yet. Neither player going for TCs. The fact that the Korean player went for stone and he spent it. What did he spend it on? Is that a forward castle? Very forward castle. Okay. Hobotus likes the aggression. He's got a 500-point lead, 600-point lead. Maybe he's feeling a bit emboldened. He'll have an army to deal with as he builds this castle, which is never ideal, but army's about even, 33 to 31 in Gray's favor. And if he gets this castle up, it'll put red in a very tricky position. Red has to fight this. He needs to micro better too. The skirmishers are taking so much damage and just, yeah, look at that. Eating red alive. This is not a good fight for red. He had to take it, but yikes. Castle will go up. I don't think Hobotus lost a single villager in that engagement. He did not. No villagers killed on either side. But now the army, 1 to 28 is the army, as we see knights coming out from the Ethiopian player. And if you're the Korean player, you're pretty happy to see that. Anytime you're making knights as the Ethiopians, it's not a good sign. There's the university. Korean war wagon on the way. And Hobotus is solidly in control of this game. Second TC coming down for red, meanwhile. Looks like Hobotus is going for that solo TC play. This is the right call from red, though. Your only option is to try to get ahead of Nico, weather the storm, and push back once you have the eco lead. But Gray continues to spread his army out and find places to hit. Knights coming in one at a time are not going to be a threat. And the war wagons are benefiting from those bodkin arrow and leather archer armor that's already in. Decent quick wall, but not quite enough, as the knight will go in, and Mateo's just looking to cause as much damage as he can with a single knight raid. It is bringing the war wagons back up to defense, though. To his credit, it is working. Mangonel coming out, which is a good choice. So Mangonel and Knights will be Red's response. I think that's his only response at this point. Mangonels will do a good work against all those elite skirmishers. They also outrange the war wagons. The Mangonel does. First, archery range will go down. Decent micro from the war wagons on the... War wagons do great damage against the Mangonel, though. They do take a lot of damage from that Mangonel as well, though, because it's siege on siege. Third town center from red. There will be no castle, which, I mean, I don't know about that. Might be your only defense against the war wagons would be a castle, but red's looking to boom instead. He does have the 10 villager lead, just about. War wagons walking forward with impunity, looking to kill some villagers. Good micro from Gray to avoid that mangonel hit. This town center came in clutch though, because you can hide all of his villagers safely, Ken Red. Gray just spreading out, kind of taking the TC fire, tanking it, looking for villager kills. If Gray were to just walk back here though, this is the protected spot. And it's quite a lot. I mean, that's 26 vills right there. Gray obviously doesn't see that yet. I love the boldness of Gray though. He's literally just sitting under this town center, sniping vills here and there. Now he moves back. This is so good. These archers getting out of the TC fire will find these guys, and there's the Exodus. Look at that. Out of the way! Out of the way! Oh, and the GG's called. Red just sees it. It's like, okay, there's nothing I can do. And it's true. I mean, that TC's at half health already. 11 war wagons will take it down. Castle in your face. I mean, no stone was mined at all. Red went for the 3 TC boom to respawn, but it was just too little too late. Well, congratulations to Hobotus. I think he'll be feeling good about his Korean choice if he does get stuck with those in the Super League. I have a few more videos submitted from Hobotus. He was on his way to Imperial Age as well, despite being down by about 10 vills. Looking forward to bringing you those games. He has a very aggressive playstyle, which I love to see. And if you're interested in joining the Super League, I will link to their Discord as well, so you get some info on that. If you're interested in joining TAW, I'll link that in the video description, so you can go to taw.net and submit a request to join the Art of Warfare. For now, this is Sneaky Chiefy. Thanks for watching my video, and signing off. See you on the next one.